This week, we have one tough cowboy who has made it from death's door to become one of the top performance acts in the world. Rodeo originated with occasional gatherings of cowboys wanting to show one another who was best, and quickly evolved into an organized sport with a host of specialty acts in the mix.
How about the one-armed bandit?
One such act has been around the globe entertaining crowds for nearly 30 years.
Didn't get a lot of done, but sure had a lot of fun, and that's how I live my life.
Why the name One-Armed Bandit?
I was killed back in '73. I was working for my dad on a ranch, and he bought a house, and we'd worked there 6 days, and I was tearing down the house, and I climbed up the pole to cut the wires down and went to the house and grabbed a hold of 7200. I thought it was dead. Right before I grabbed it, it shot a spark to me and made my hands close around it. And it was just like that for 10 seconds, and it burnt through my fingers and fell to the ground, 25 foot. And then I was dangling alongside the pole, and it burnt my leg to the bone for about a foot right in there. You can see the bone. And I wanted to cut my leg off, and I said, you know what, I'm a cowboy, and I ride horses. It's going to be a little bit tough riding a horse with one arm and one leg. I said, long story short, we're not going to cut the leg off. You can cut the arm off, get rid of it, it's about to fall off. But the leg will stay. And they said, well, it'll kill you because you got infection in it, and you got infection in your arm, you're going to die of infection. But they didn't know how tough I was. And pretty tough and hard to kill. And they cut my arm off, and that's why they called me the One-Armed Bandit. And went home and started breaking the horse, and he reared up and pawed me right in the shoulder. He ripped me open, and I bled like a stuck hog all the way to the house, hobbling around. Of course, my mom wasn't very happy with me. And I'm a cowboy, hardcore, redneck, Okie cowboy, through and through. And that's all I am, that's all I wanted to be, and I'm very happy being that. I don't take anything for nothing, don't take things for granted. I want to earn everything I get, I want to earn it. I don't want nothing easy, and I don't care if I got a bunch of money in the bank or not a bunch of money in the bank. I want to live my life happy and be healthy. It don't make any difference how much money you got. If you're unhealthy, what's it going to do for you? So by riding my horses and doing the show and hustling and struggling and moving and just all this that I do keeps me strong, healthy, and happy. Well, that's all you get out of life. It's a pretty big waste if you die with a bunch of money in the bank. Never give up, never give up. There's a way of doing everything, and when they cut my arm off, I didn't know what was going to happen, but I can do anything I want to do with this hand and this arm. If I can't do it with this hand and not that arm, it don't need done.
You have done squats for One-Armed Bandit at work.
Don't ever give up. If our forefathers would have gave up, we wouldn't have the United States. And if they hadn't gave up, we'd still be living east of the Mississippi. But it's due to people that's got a little backbone and cowboy ingenuity that got this world where it's at today. And I'm just a descendant of all those people.
He tells us how the act got its start.
Used to gather wild cattle for a living, had good dogs, went several different states gathering wild cattle, and most of them would be for half of what I caught, or $500 a day or $100 a head or whatever. Old boy Walter Oswald bought a bunch of bulls off my dad, and we didn't think they could pen them, and we sold them to them in the pasture, and they couldn't pen them. So I had to come and pen them. Went to the rodeo to watch them buck. Of course, I hadn't been in town 3 weeks. Probably drank a couple beers too much, and when the act came out, I said, "Boy, that sucked." And Walter turned around, came back over and said, "We'll just let you be the entertainment next year." So I said, "I'll be here." And I knew I was good with dogs, I knew I was good with horses, and I knew I had a little cowboy ingenuity, and I was determined, and I had some talents. I came back the next year and put 5 quarter-inch steers up on a homemade trailer. So that's how we got started.
Absolutely amazing. You know that?
I trained buffaloes, I trained mules, I trained big Texas longhorns, got the biggest horn you ever seen. Recently I started training zebras and Z-donks and horses just for something different. Buffaloes are the toughest son of a guns in North America. A bad bull out of the swamps of the Everglades in Florida can't hold a candle to a buffalo. They like a good fight, and they can fight for a long time. That's how come there's 60 million of them. Tough son of the guns. Cattle ain't near as tough as a buffalo. Then most of your horses ain't near as tough as your mules. I got a tough mule in here. Dirty, rotten son of a gun. Run off with you, buck you off. He's bucked me off 3 times during performance. One time kicking me in the arm, knocked my arm off during the show. One time he fell off top trailer and knocked me out. But my little outlaw horse, I'm real proud of him. I was at a horse sale. Killer buyer buys me for $300. When the sale's over, I put $320 in my pocket and walk up and hand it to the guy. He said, well, heck, I give $300 for him. I said, you've already made $20 and you ain't even touched them. He said, I'm a little tight tonight, so you can have them. So I brought by Outlaw. This horse in here just loves me and wants to be nice to me and get along. The mule's always sitting there thinking, what's this? But not all mules are like this. I bought a renegade mule, and me being a one-armed bandit, a little bit of a renegade anyway, we get along pretty good. And the Outlaw horse, $300 killer horse.
John tells us about the highlight of his career.
No doubt about it, going to Oman, O-M-A-N, and doing a show for the king, where there was several acts, several entertainers. Money was no object. They hired the best. They circled the globe for 5 years, finding the very best to come back and show their king. We was invited, and after 6 rehearsals, the American team got to go last. And you know what that means when you get to go last. So we got to go last.
The highly renowned Royal Equestrian Festival features the best international equestrian acts from a dozen nations and is considered among the highest honors for an artist to be invited to perform.
Took 18 head of animals. 9 people went. Truck and trailer went. Truck and trailer went on a boat. The animals all flew on an airplane. And it's halfway around the world. And we got to see a different culture and meet different people and got paid for it. And it was a heck of a vacation.
I want to hear it from one of the